I'm recording now, so we can start our intro.
Alright, Raine, it's all on you. I'm so glad I handed this to you, even though I knew I would be okay doing it. I'm so glad you're doing this and not me.
Okay. Hello, welcome to the Too Broke, Too Busy podcast. Joey, why are you laughing? Okay. What?
Fine, I won't have a good time. My bad.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay. Joey, miserable. Okay. Hello, welcome to okay. Okay.
Haw that shit out.
Ha. Hello, welcome to the Too Broke, Too Busy podcast. We are three theater professionals who are either
Too broke.
Too busy.
or sometimes both. My name is Raine,
I'm Joey.
I'm Andy.
and today we're going to be talking about the drama. Joey?
The movie. Specifically the movie.
Yes. What are
Not
your
our personal life drama. That's not for this
Well, we
podcast.
can also talk about that.
That's like 100 subscriber thing. I don't
Okay.
know.
Wait, okay, so Joey, what are your thoughts?
Okay. I have too many thoughts. I will start with I liked the movie.
Yes.
I
Very
wanna
good. I
start
think that's
there.
a good start.
It was so the movie I saw just before that was Super Mario Galaxy.
How did they compare?
I don't know if I should say what I'm about to say.
Compare and contrast.
I actually really liked the Mario Galaxy movie.
Uh-huh.
There's like apparently so many lore things they got wrong, and that's probably true. But like
Unbelievable.
for it being such a nostalgic game for me, I was kind of here for the ride, and like just every moment hit for me.
Okay.
This movie fully made me uncomfortable the entire time.
That's true.
It was still good,
Mm-hmm.
but like, man,
Okay, wait. What made you uncomfortable about it? Because I feel like I was having a great time.
for like the drama.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Wait, really? This is not a common feeling.
Oh, well, I think it's probably supposed to be both. From the whole beginning sequence where he is so awkwardly trying to talk about this book to someone who he doesn't know cannot hear him, thinks is just ignoring him.
Oh my
You're
God.
I personally am sitting in my seat cringing so hard that I have a giant smile on my face because I'm
Yeah.
like, this is
No,
this is
the
insane.
yeah.
The uncomfy feeling didn't come till like significantly later, and by
Okay,
later,
okay.
like 20 minutes later.
Okay.
'Cause that's how early the reveal.
Yeah, the reveal is
Yeah.
in the first third.
No, yeah.
That's our inciting incident.
Yes, there will be spoilers, by the way. But,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, I love Robert Pattinson, so I was so ready for him to be a little freak. And it was crazy because the day before, I was like, I love Robert Pattinson. He's such a little freak. And then she said that in the movie. She's like, you're a little freak.
British freak.
You're a little British freak. I was like, yes, he is. But the crazy twist was that he was not the freak in the movie.
No. Okay, I
Zendaya was.
disagree. Actually,
Whoa.
I think he was really freaky. Like it was. It was kind of one of those things where at the beginning of the movie, she's not like on. I'm not on her side right now.
Yeah.
And then later in the movie, I was like, well, now I'm also not on his side. Like,
I
it's
think
kind of-
that's
Okay,
they're kind of
yeah.
both really not great.
yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
that works for them.
That's
I think that's some of the beauty of the writing of it is the fact that it does start. You're kind of like, okay, I'm here. I've been introduced to these people. I'm in their world. They seem fine.
Yep.
The reveals happen, and you have your little qualms with everyone. You're like, well, that's not great, but they are talking about this. She says hers, and you go, whoa, wait, stop. What?
okay.
But over the course of the movie, you start to realize that there's levels to it all that make
Yeah.
hers not as bad,
Yeah.
and there's levels to it that made what they did in the past something they have not been able to grow past,
Okay.
which I found very genius.
I thought that Rachel was such a terrible person.
Oh my god.
And
Team hate Rachel.
yes, and
Oh my God.
and I think that's something really interesting that the movie did was just like, is it worse to do something s- spur of the moment, not premeditated, but you actually do the action, like you actually do the bad thing? Or is it worse to premeditate something terrible but not actually follow through with the action? So like Rachel's thing was like locking a mentally disabled kid in an abandoned.
She said slow.
She didn't say that. She said he was slow. She said he was.
slow.
Okay,
Which
but
I do think
Rachel is.
implies
Yeah.
Yes.
that, but she said slow, so
And-
it
and-
could have just been a dumb kid.
Joey.
a little dumb guy.
A little dumb guy. Okay, well, she locked a little dumb guy in
Feel bad.
a fridge in like
And a closet,
in
which
a-
was inside a trailer in the middle of the woods.
yes,
Like in a yeah,
And
and
then-
like the deep woods.
and
Yeah.
she didn't tell anyone about it. And then when
Nope.
the police came knocking, she also didn't admit it. And
Yeah.
and then Zendaya's character was like, well, what if they didn't like find him? Would you
Yeah.
would you
And her
say
only
anything?
excuse is, well, I didn't. They found him, but they found him, so
Yeah.
I don't even have to
Yeah.
think about it because
Yeah,
they found him.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like we're not really sure whether she would actually say anything. And I have a theory that she wouldn't, because I feel like
agree.
her character was representing people that their moral values are based upon other people's opinions of them. Like she didn't have her opinion of her own about whether she should be the maid of honor to a bride that was plotting a mass murder, like a mass school shooting. And she didn't have her own opinion. She had to ask her cousin, who is a victim of a school shooting.
Yeah.
Like, and as long as she got the okay from a victim, then it's like morally okay for her to attend this wedding, instead of her having her own like principles. And
Uh-huh.
I think I understand where you're coming from.
Mhm.
I don't think it's that outlandish though to ask your cousin. I think that's actually a very like pretty understandable thing, because like
I mean,
I don't know, I feel like if you had a friend who like you could use J.K. Rowling actually. Like if you have someone who likes Harry Potter currently, but you don't support what she does or like what she stands for. But like if someone is like still going to see their show and you know this, are you going to stop being friends with them because you disagree, or do you know they're better than that, or like that it's a completely different thing? And I feel like wanting the blessing of someone who is outwardly affected by this kind of thing
Yeah.
is totally a reasonable thing to want. That being said, you are correct that she doesn't have her own moral grounds and opinions. I fully agree with that.
yes.
I think just what she did isn't so outlandish that I think someone who does have their own morals would still ask. And I think the difference would be like if Sam says no, someone who might have their own moral ground might still go anyway. They just wanted to let them know this is happening, and like they still care about them enough, or they know beyond this one action how they feel about Emma, and Emma's not this person anymore, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas Rachel, who doesn't have this like moral compass or moral ground, will ask, and if she gets no, it's like hands are tied. That's all I can do. Sorry.
Yeah, well,
Um,
I think, you know, it's a different situation because she was like, what the hell's wrong with you? You know my cousin was a victim of a school shooting, right? And then they were like, you've never brought this up before.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I instantly hated her when she said that. I was like, there is no way in any world where a character who almost went through a mass shooting, almost pulled off a mass shooting, forgot someone else who's very close to her fiance mentioning her cousin got shot at a mass shooting.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like, oh, I feel like I'm never going to bring this up now. Like, just never going to mention that now.
Yeah, and then when Robert Pattinson's character, what was his name, Charlie? When Charlie, like kind of encountered Sam That's the name of the cousin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
God.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Okay, but
Another beautifully cringe scene.
yes, but he kind of had a point. Because he was like, she's never mentioned you before. What does family really mean? And that's so true, because it's like, it's one thing if, you know, in your example, like, you're friends with someone who is directly affected by anti-trans legislation, and then you know, but that's your friend. It's not some like cousin of yours that you never talk to, you never bring up, and you only meet up with. This is someone who, you know, seemingly they're best friends, right? But the best friend has never heard of this cousin, and she makes her come to her work. This woman in a wheelchair, you know, she has to traverse New York City, which is an inaccessible city, and come to her work so she can have a discussion about whether it's okay if she can be the maid of honor to her to Emma's wedding. You know, it's like very clearly using her as just like, oh, I'm not a bad person, right? Like this,
all in the end for something Emma never did.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So Joey, your thoughts about?
I think we've established Rachel. We don't like Rachel.
Yes.
Let's talk about the actual point of this movie.
And I also think that Rachel's worse than Emma, but okay.
I also agree there.
I do agree.
Okay.
But I think the real question of this movie for me was, what do you do in that situation? Like,
Yeah.
where's the line for you? And
You're
truthfully,
implying.
I think Misha is the most sound person in this entire movie.
Misha.
100%.
What?
She kind of lays down, like, exactly, like, no, she's probably insane. Like, I don't think I would do that. Like, I don't think I could, like, I would call the cops. They're like, you know, that's so fair, because, like, we're told, like, if you have any inkling of, like, a mass shooting, you stop it before it happens. And it's like, well, this feels like a huge red flag.
Okay.
When you hear that. And it's like, I'm aware that, like, this is in their past. And when I first heard Emma say what she almost did, I really was like, oh, I really need her to say something. Say, like, a good, like, she was depressed, she was bullied, she was this, that.
Yeah.
I need her to say that, and I'm like, I can move past that and forgive that. Because I can understand getting to a mental state like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then when the reason she didn't go through with it was because someone beat her to the punch, it became a lot harder to forgive her for that.
Okay, but that wasn't the only reason why she didn't do it.
She gave who? Count them. Who? Bullying encounters. And then she said, there was, like, more.
Okay, so yes, someone beat her to the punch. It threw her off her game. There was already a shooting. Someone already died. But also, she kind of got involved with this activist group of, like, a anti-gun activist group. And she became, like, really involved in this community, and she started going to protests and speaking out. And so I think that kind of shows that she wanted to do this mass shooting not because she's a psychopath that, like, wants to see everyone dead, but really she wanted a community. She wanted people to respect her. And she ended up finding that in something that was the antithesis of what she was planning on doing. So I think that shows that she didn't actually care about, it wasn't about guns at all or killing people or anything. It was just about... It
was about being seen.
Yes.
And though, like, through a mass shooting, like, American culture, which is another whole facet of the movie, like, everyone who does this stuff, they're televised, their names get recognized, like, these people shouldn't be turned into celebrities, but the way our culture works, they kind of do. So that's a way, as a child who is like, oh, I feel there's no way out, what can I do to be seen? Well, I can take something that's accessible to me, my father's rifle, and I can do this thing that will get me known and noticed. When that doesn't happen, call it an act of God, a miracle. Something got in the way, whether that be something as tragic as someone else did it first, or she chickens out the day of. Either way, it doesn't happen. She falls into a group that gives her what she wanted, the attention, the voice, the community. But it's in exactly what Raine said, the antithesis, a healthy, productive way, which I fully agree. It means it wasn't at all about violence or wishing harm on others. It was a cry for help that was silenced by someone doing a terrible thing. But it led to a really healthy place. So I don't hold that against Emma's mental health, as well as the fact that she was, do we even hear a concrete age? Like, clearly still in school, like
she was
middle,
in middle
or
school,
high.
Right?
Oh, when she was gonna go through with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How old
I
was
think
she?
she was like high school, like early high school,
Okay. I think she was like 14.
late middle school, early high school.
Because
I think
15, 16.
Yeah, I think 14 is 9th grade, so
Yeah,
I think
it
she
was
was
around
like
that time.
14.
So that's you're not close to fully developed. I think that there's a lot of room for growth in what happened to her and what she did.
I do agree with that point though. When I think
With
at
Andy's
the
point specifically.
taste testing dinner right at the beginning, like when we find it out, how how Rachel's thing of like locking someone in the closet,
Yeah.
And leaving them for dead, pretty
and
much.
leaving them for dead was like excused because she was so young, whereas I feel like Emma's whole thing can still use that point. Like it's not like it becomes like an invaluable point to her, like almost insane thing she did.
Yeah.
I think the thing she did is more insane. I don't think there's any argument there. It's just she's also still a kid. She's also like, that's like something a child. And that's not something a child would do, but like them being a child does have weight to it. Whereas if you said someone in college or an adult did that, that's a very different tone to that almost action.
Yes. Okay, so the question is, Joey, if you found out your fiance was almost gonna do a mass shooting when they were 14, would you stay with them?
Truthfully, it's so I have to be in the moment. I have to know what it's like. Because, like, I think the other thing that we glossed over is Charlie finding this out, in front of 2 other people. That should never happen. That should have been, they talk, they find this out on their own.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I was like, I feel like they don't know each other enough.
No, I'm literally like, how did Emma just let this go? Like, I don't understand how she just kind of let this slip. I guess she was drunk. If that's the reason we're going with, sure. I find it hard to believe that she felt so comfortable with them to do that. But it is 20 minutes of the movie. I don't really have much to go on at the time it happens. But the other thing was, it's also the week of their wedding.
Yeah.
Like, I could never imagine finding this out, let alone during the week of my wedding. And I'm like, there's so much stress. There's so many things. I'm like, it's one of those things that you're like, let's just push this off, get married, we'll talk about it after. And I'm like, you kind of can't.
No.
Because the way that whole week progresses, I'm like, no, that's fully what I'd expect to happen, which is my entire view on this person changes until I process what's happening or I learn, like, the backstory of it. And like, the reason I feel like I don't actually know what I'd do is because early in a relationship, I feel like it's very different compared to the week of getting married. And it's like, the week getting married, I feel like I'd want to try.
Yeah.
But, like, that's a crazy thing to hear your partner say in front of 2 of your friends.
Yeah.
That, like, I would want to find a reason. Truthfully, I'd probably do exactly what Charlie did, which was start to take the car accident that had nothing to do with why it happened, and then use that to tell myself that this is why she did that, and be okay with it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I see myself doing that if it's in the week of my wedding and I have to just find.
You have to find a way to get through.
I have to find a way to get over this.
Yeah.
That's probably what I do.
Well, for me, that scene I feel like it wasn't him telling himself. It was also that, but I think it was also like him needing to find a reason to tell his friend.
It started there. It started as a reason for them. Then it started becoming a reason for him.
But I don't think
he kept saying it.
I don't think he like really believed that, because I think even after that scene he was still struggling with the question. It's not like, okay, this is why, and I'm not going to think about it anymore.
No, correct. I just think that's how I'd go about it. That's probably what I'd do.
Okay.
But like, I just need to push through.
Yeah.
Unless, if I could, I'd postpone my wedding. Like, I'd be like, hey guys, something came up.
Something came up.
Week of, it's a bit tough, but I admire the attempt.
Sorry, this is just bad time. Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever.
Wait, okay, so before we continue with this thread, we still need to talk about why you think Misha is the most...
I just think what she said when Charlie raised her,
the most moral person
was the most like sound thing I heard someone say this entire show or this entire movie.
Oh, okay.
Like she was like
when she said she would call the cops.
Yeah, because like I'm like she literally activated
would you do
the
that?
thing I was taught in school, which was if you hear about potential mass shooting, you need to report it. Yes. And I'm just like, you're so right. That is what you should do. Like,
yes,
probably a psychopath. Even if they're a hurt, like, because she also said, what did she say? She said, Charlie said something that, like, was supposed to be a reason, like, Emma explained why she was almost going to do it. And it was Charlie, like, rephrasing that. And then Misha goes, well, I mean, that's, a psychopath would say what they need to say is for you to believe them. And I was like, that's so true, though. They would do that. And I'm like, I don't know if she's a psychopath anymore. Like, I have no idea.
I think the fun part of that scene specifically, the Misha and Charlie talking about it, I think the beauty of that is it really shows the gender dynamic of it. Because she's looking at it from, I'm a girl whose boyfriend admitted to something incredibly violent. Which I think genuinely merits that, but when you flip the genders, it's so much easier to go,
and
things are more okay.
I don't think it should. I think they're both really bad, regardless of who, what the gender of the person is.
Yeah, I would agree. I actually would agree with Joey on this, because I feel like something about guns is that it kind of equals the playing field of, like, deadly forces.
But you also remember the book that keeps showing up in his desk where it's sexy women with guns. Women with guns are not taken as seriously. It's something that's tantalizing. It's something to be commodified and put in a book.
That's true.
Where I'm not saying that guys with guns is the exact opposite. We still have, like, Call of Duty is one of the most popular games out there. War movies always do well.
Yeah.
But there is a they aren't treated the same by any means. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be. I'm not saying they should be. I'm just saying that in popular culture at large, they are not treated the same way, which I think heavily influences Misha's response specifically.
Yes.
Also, she was fully sexually assaulted, and also that ruined Charlie for me.
I lost all care for Charlie after that.
Get him out of here.
Yeah, I do feel like that was kind of a moment where it wasn't super clear why that happened and, like, what led up to that.
The sexual assault?
Yeah.
I mean, Misha, I think, kind of summed it up pretty well at the wedding, which is, like, I think he was just, like, very, like, shocked and, like, emotionally, like exhausted from his wedding, and he was, like, clearly going through something, and then he, like, emotionally outbursted, and it just kind of happened.
It's also,
and, like,
just in the way...
For Charlie, and anything.
No.
But, like, that's pretty much what happened, minus the whole exactly why he was emotionally outbursting.
Yeah, it's in the body language as well. It's the way he's holding her before it happens, like when he leaves the room. It's it's someone who just wants they feel really alone and want comfort. It's the way he's like gripping her with his head like sunk into her belly before. It's that desire for intimacy and closeness that isn't necessarily sexual, but when it's reciprocated, and of course we know he and Emma have not had sex in a while, I think his urges get the better of him, which is not an excuse at all, but I think that's why it escalates to that point.
Yes.
Is he goes, God, I'm so scared and alone, I need someone to be there. She's there. She's not unattractive, so he misreads these signals and advances, and she is taken aback by them.
Okay, I don't think she's taken aback. She flipped up her like, I do think it is sexual assault because he holds a higher position than her, right?
No, I think they're just coworkers.
Oh, really?
I
think they're on the same board.
He didn't strike me as a boss. I do know where you're going though, Raine, and I agree that she very much had the like.
She flipped up her skirt.
Oh, so we're doing this moment.
Yeah, she was like,
yeah,
right,
and she wasn't even wearing underwear.
Yeah, she just flipped the skirt and was ready.
And she was ready. And I feel like with Misha, like, it's so funny that Joey, you feel like she said like the correct like sound thing, because I feel like her character, you know, if we're thinking about everyone's morals, her character is the one that wants to be in the most mess like possible, like because when she came in to talk to Emma and Charlie privately.
Oh, at the wedding?
Yeah, she wasn't being like, oh, so, what did you guys want to talk to me about? She was like, well, this is what happened, and it wasn't my fault, and...
Well, okay, what I think that's a normal thing. She's not trying to make a mess out of it. Like, she didn't know that Emma thought she knew her secret. She didn't know that. The only thing she has to go off of is that her and Charlie almost had sex and they kissed at work. And so, like, the bride at a wedding pulling you into a private room with the groom, who that you had an interaction with, you're like, it wasn't me. It wasn't anything.
I would go into that room assuming that that's what they're here to talk about.
I was like, clearly she has no idea what they're about to... Like, when she said that, I was like, oh, Emma... She has no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, I think that Misha assumed, like, it makes sense that she would assume that that's what they're going to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
But I do think that she could have brought it up in a little bit more of, like, a tactful way, or just, like...
Oh, like,
because she
totally.
doesn't want...
And Charlie could have totally acted so much better in his emotional breakdown, but sometimes people just...
Yeah.
Emotionally emote.
Okay, well, the reason why I say this is because she said that she was with this really nice guy, and then she cheated on him, because he was so nice, like, seemingly for like no like good reason, and then so I was like, okay, this is foreshadowing, like, they're gonna... I could see, like, her and Charlie were probably gonna, like, something was gonna happen. And then when she flipped up her skirt, I was like, okay, so she's messy, like, she likes cheating on people. And now she's with someone who she described that would, like, kill her in a second. And then we actually met the guy who she was with, and he was, like, super violent, you know, like, fist first, talk later kind of guy.
Headbutt first.
Yeah, headbutt.
I thought that was crazy.
Like, she clearly doesn't like him. I think she had no quarrels with, like, doing this. And I don't think it had anything to do with, like, her being a messy person. I think she was like, well, I don't like Blake. Like,
well, then why would you be...
Why
would you be with someone who's, like, clearly a red flag if you had an option to be with someone who's super nice and you don't want to be with him just because he's too nice for you?
Well,
I think she likes mess.
To take some guidance from the main characters, sometimes there are things you fight for and to move past.
But I feel like she knows, like, you know, Emma seems like super, like, graceful, super beautiful, like she never had a struggle in her life, and then it it like hits Charlie. Oh shit! Like this is actually not who I thought. Like he didn't even know that she had like an ugly face, you know, and but I feel like Misha is someone that knows who people are, and she still decides to proceed with the messiest way to go about them.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I don't think that takes away from her saying the most sound thing in this entire movie.
Okay, and I also feel like calling the cops on someone who planned a school shooting but didn't actually go
15 plus years ago.
Yeah, I think that's not the right thing to do.
She was, I feel like, correct in saying, like, because I think she made, like, well, if I found that out, I would call it cops. I think she probably thought it was current, and, like, or, like, a recent time. Whereas, like, if it's 15 years ago, I'm like, hold on. What?
Well, because also she wasn't the first person that said that. Also, Charlie's best friend also said that. He was like, you should call the cops.
Well, no, I don't think that happened.
What?
That is, I think that's that was
yes.
That was Emma imagining that interaction with him.
That was my favorite sequence of the entire movie. That the night after when they both wake up and they both have their miniature dream sequences of what's the worst that could be happening. Because I feel like that's the moment where, I mean, it wouldn't happen to me. That's the moment where you need to talk. You need to sit down and have the most uncomfortable conversation. Because it's the morning after, it's just you two. You need to hash out every detail, and that's where you can find out where you stand. And they don't have that conversation.
In their defense, they tried. And then just wedding things kept getting in the way. And that's why I think this happening in that week made this so much worse.
Yes.
I think they didn't try hard enough.
I mean,
I
yes,
agree.
I agree. I think that's something like, we can push the florist.
Yeah.
Later.
Or be like, you know what? I know what this flower looks like. What do they want for it? We can do it over Zoom. We can do it over a phone call. Right now, I need to sit with my fiance and make sure I still want to marry her.
Okay, so
I do agree.
Very quickly, we have to wrap up. But
yeah, if you have anything else, please. I have one more thing I want to say about this movie.
Okay. Go.
Yeah. If you have anything else you want to say before I move on, please say it.
Okay, I just want to get this clip real quick. Okay, so, very quickly, Andy, if you found out your fiancé planned a mass shooting when she was 14 and you guys are getting married in a week, would you look past it, yes or no?
In one word, yes, I would. It would take a lot of conversation, but I would.
Okay, well, Joey?
How about you, Raine?
Yes, I would. It would also need to be like a really good conversation, but I think that I could look past it. Joey?
They were married. They were together for like 2.5 years and married that third year. Oh, it's so difficult.
Yes or no?
Like, probably. If
I
get that conversation, it's probably happening.
Yes?
If I get that conversation, I'm probably going to be fine with it.
Oh.
And look at that.
Probably. Okay. Okay, Joey, what did you want to say?
Too much vomit.
Oh, the poor girl pukes anytime she's slightly anxious.
There was too much vomit in this movie for a movie that warranted one time to vomit. And it was at the dinner. That's the only time that I was like, okay, fair. I understand that one. Then it happened again in the apartment. I'm like, okay, I would have liked a warning, but like, I still get why it happened. Like, she's like emotionally responding. Like, her body's just responding. I understand that. I didn't think it needed to happen, but I understand it. Then the third time didn't have to happen. When Charlie just like is dancing with himself in his apartment, like all the way after the wedding, and he's like
rule of threes,
and then he's like. And I'm just like, hey, what?
Do you have something
sense to me.
Against vomit,
puke,
Joey?
we, the directors, show that they're meant for each other.
Yeah, no. I followed along there all the way to the diner. Like,
Yes, Andy.
Do we want to change, like, topics to the next topic of discussion, or can we do one more thing here?
Oh, one more thing.
You have another thing?
I wanted to get your opinion. How do you think it ends? Do you think they try, or do you think they're done?
I think they try because I think that. Well, okay. So something interesting to me is I feel like him cheating is kind of worse than what she did.
Yeah,
'Cause
100%.
Yeah, because that was so recent. But
also,
That was real. It happened. They knew each other when it happened.
yeah,
it was also the other thing, and I think this really does solidify it for me. That was a choice.
Mhm.
Hers wasn't.
Wait, hers wasn't
She
a
didn't
choice?
do it, not because she chose not to, because she ended up realizing, like, she was beat to it. So it made, like, she had no more interest in doing it anymore.
But
Whereas
he also
actively
didn't-
chose to emotionally outburst like that.
Yeah, but he also didn't seal the deal, you know?
Like,
Does that make it better?
No,
Yes.
it doesn't, but like I
Are you
feel
saying
like,
they're that similar? They both almost did something horrible?
yes, he also had a realization of like, what the fuck am I doing? It doesn't. It's
You're so
horrible
right.
that it happened, but like, you know, he had this realization of like, oh my god, what the fuck, and he didn't seal the deal.
Yeah.
He did the bad thing. She didn't.
Well,
That's the-
okay, so him kissing but not actually having sex with her is similar to her bringing a gun to school but not actually using it.
No,
I see Raine's discussion there.
I don't think she ever brought the gun yet. I think.
No,
was
yeah,
so-
she
She
did.
did.
She had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I take.
So that's why I see that's
No, I think that's fair. I would.
a
probably-
similarity I didn't pick up
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I like that.
But honestly, I think that, you know, I actually had a conversation with my partner about the worst things we've ever done, and
Oh my god.
they were
Are you
not
guys getting married soon?
they were not nearly as bad as either of these things, but the interesting thing was that I felt like the things that they brought up was like, actually those weren't bad things. I think that people made you feel shameful for them, but they weren't objectively like morally bad. I think like it was the kind of thing of like, you know, getting punished as a kid when but it wasn't immoral. It was just like, this is what the authority figures were like, you can't step out of line or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I think the interesting thing is like, you know, whether these two people forgive each other or not, I think they will, because I think that even though, in my personal opinion, him cheating on Emma is worse than her doing planning the mass shooting 15 years ago, they both feel an equal amount of shame about what they did. And so therefore he can finally look past what she did, because he doesn't want her to judge him for what he did, the same way she doesn't want him to judge her for what she did. And so I think the point of this movie is that we all have skeletons in our closet, and like, you shouldn't be judging other people. Like when he was like, stop gossiping, everyone. I think that was the point of the movie, was like, you all think you're better than us, but you all have shit too.
I agree with that. I think that is a very, like, no, I agree that I think that is the point of the movie and all that. I do find the context of when the things happened make one significantly worse than the other, and one more redeemable than the other. And it's like, just the fact, like, I'm aware, like, the severity of his cheating, I think, is equivalent to the severity of what she did. But the timing of when he did it, compared to when she did it, makes it his so much worse, because she didn't do his based off anything her partner knew, and he did everything based off of his partner, and like what he found out about her. And I think that just speaks like to where it's like, it's not really about I think it's more of whether she feels he deserves a second chance, when it's rather both of them, because like, he's the one who needs the actual redemption by the end of the movie, and it's more of like, Emma's like, this happened, I can't really change this. I just can tell you it's not going to happen again. Whereas, like, he's now shown he's capable of doing something like that. So, like, God forbid Emma has some other skeleton in the closet that is nearly as severe, as bad as that. It could happen again! And that's, like...
He's like,
I
oh
don't think-
no, I have to
think
hook
we
up
should
with
do that.
Misha now. What am I gonna do?
Like, gets a new job, finds a new Misha.
Yeah.
Like,
New
all right,
Misha.
give it like 4 years. We'll be back.
Oh my god. Okay.
Um,
Okay, so quickly we'll move on to our next segment.
Yeah.
We're gonna drop the Timothy thing because it is kind
no,
of
I
old.
want to actually know what he said.
Okay, next
For
one.
anybody,
Next one.
for anybody who cares, I was told not to know anything about this, and I
Yes,
was so
we have
excited to find out what happened.
have
and
somehow
now moving on,
managed.
I need to know. We don't have to talk about it. I just want to know what he actually did.
Wait,
We've
Andy.
somehow managed to keep Joey in the dark about a very popular, very popular drama.
Okay.
Not just the movie, the drama.
Okay.
The drama involving Academy
No, no, no,
Award
no, wait,
loser
wait.
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh my god, that's so funny. No, I think we should table it. We can talk about it for the season finale.
Oh my gosh, Joey, just stay off the internet.
Yeah.
Season finale. Oh God.
Okay, but yes, let's move on to our next segment, which is why don't people start?
Oh,
I will start.
This is so hard to figure out what I wanted to say.
Okay, I can start unless someone else feels very moved.
I would love to hear yours.
Okay. Why don't people start eating on the subway? No one eats food on the subway, and I do. And I don't care if people think it's like stinky or something. It's not stinky, it's good food, you know? So there's so many other smells that happen on the subway. You're telling me that some fish or some kimchi is gonna like, kill you, you know?
Yes.
You know what? You know what's crazy? I don't think this is as outlandish as she's making it sound. I just think the reason you think people don't do it is wrong.
Okay.
And I
what-
don't think it has anything to do with the smell or the taste or anything like that.
As someone who takes the subway nearly daily, the smell does factor into it.
Sure, I'm sure it has a non-zero amount into it, but I feel like for me, the reason I wouldn't do it is simply because of the torque
The
of
torque?
taking off and stopping, and like I never be able to.
What do you
just,
think I'm
like,
eating?
hold and balance my food. Like if we're about to like stop, the subway's about to stop. I'm mid-bite, bro. Something's falling. Like
On the E train, feel free to eat, but if you're on the 4 or the 5, oh, you're spilling it everywhere.
I'm going to like hit someone next to me. My bag's gonna fall, or like I'm gonna
Joey.
lose like 3 meatballs in my sandwich. I
A
don't know.
man's eating spaghetti and meatballs on the subway.
A sandwich, of course. Yes.
Oh, a meatball,
A meatball
sub?
sub. Yeah.
Somehow more unhinged.
I don't know.
Okay, well,
I could just see something falling out.
Are you imagining that you're like standing up and you have to use 2 hands to eat the meatball sub?
One
So
arm
you-
just wrapped around the bar.
Well, yeah, so
Are we
you
in-
can't
are we in
hold on,
agreement
and
that
then
you're
you
only
just
eating
like
if you're sitting? Are we in agreement
Sitting.
you're only eating if you're sitting, right?
yes, I will
okay.
say that. I will add that
If you're
caveat.
standing, you're already losing. Like, and you decide to eat while you're standing, you're already in. You're not. You're not.
Yeah, no, that's not okay. That's not okay.
If
You're
you're
like
sitting-
eating
yes,
something
I
and
think-
someone's right like low-key under you and you're like holding
Yeah.
some noodles above
But
them.
like,
yeah.
like how packed the subway can get, I feel like it's so. Like the chances are so high that someone is gonna hit you and something, and your day is gonna be ruined. Like flat
day
out.
is
Like
gonna
it's just your day is gonna be ruined. Like that's my dinner, my lunch, my food, my
Okay,
snack. It's
but
gone now.
If
Like,
you're on like the subway where there are open seats and you're sitting down, there's no one next to you. Is it okay to eat? Andy, since you
I
seem
think
very
it can wait.
sensitive to
I think
what?
whatever you're gonna eat, you can wait. You can get off the train and eat wherever you're going. What you're eating does not have to be eaten on your 30-minute subway ride across the island. Because I think you're gonna run into the issue of if you get your open seat and there's no one next to you and you sit down and start to eating, I think you're manspreading because you're going to keep anyone from sitting next to you because no one wants to sit next to the guy chowing down on fish and kimchi or whatever you said we'd be eating on the
Okay,
subway.
but listen,
And
I'm not
that's-
spending
that's-
30 minutes eating fish and kimchi. I'm spending like 5 minutes tops, maybe, just like
Even more of a reason that you can wait. If it's 5 minutes,
That's
just...
true. You don't get to enjoy your meal then. That's like 5
No.
minutes of like... that could've
Then
been
the subway
30
ride
minutes.
sucks for everyone.
Yeah.
This is not my preferred eating place, but I do prefer it over walking to, like, the 5-minute walk from the subway station to the actual destination, like, eating like that.
How about you get to your station and you see that there's a train, there's the little screen, there's a train in 1 minute and there's a train in 6 minutes. How about you just sit on one of the benches in the station and eat till the second train arrives instead of getting on the first train?
Bro, that's so
and
much
spending the-
worse.
That's still just, that's 5 minutes to eat. It's
That's-
the same amount of time you're giving yourself to eat, but you're not inconveniencing everyone by
Bro,
doing it on the
eating
train.
on the subway platform, that is diabolical. Like, that
What? How is there a distinction?
I
because
feel like you're rage baiting us.
No, on the subway platform, like, I'm trying to get off there as quickly as possible. I'm making sure no one's about to push me in front of the train. Like I need to be as invisible as possible and just get on that train. I'm not spending 5 more minutes there eating anything, because also, like, what if someone comes up to me and then they want to eat it too? Like,
What?
Oh, they want to eat your food too?
Yeah.
Some guy's gonna come up to you. That could happen on the train, I'm not gonna lie.
Could also happen on the train.
but I just feel a lot more contained in the subway, you know?
That I understand.
I feel
I'm not gonna say one isn't unhinged. Both are. I'm fully in the camp of get where you're going and eat there.
You either eat where you got it or you eat where you're going.
But
Yep.
what
You do not
what
eat
if it's
on the
not
way unless
possible?
You're in your own car.
You cannot. You, like, where you're going, you cannot eat.
Then eat where you got the food.
Yeah.
But you gotta go. There's no time.
Then, man,
Better time management.
save
yeah.
your meals for later.
Also that.
No, I'm gonna
No,
have to disagree.
I'm also in the camp of I would rather eat walking. And I know with certain meals and stuff. With Joey's meatball sub, it's a lot easier, but with a bowl of kimchi and
Yeah,
fish,
you can't do that.
it's a lot tougher. But I am much more a fan of if I'm running late and I haven't eaten and I need to eat, I will get a sandwich and eat it on my walk.
Wow.
Okay.
I guess I'm in the third camp here. If I don't have time to eat it there or eat it where I'm going, I actively, or like I can't just eat in my car. I will
We don't have
decide,
cars,
like,
Joey.
well, I can't eat then because I'm not
Long
going to eat on my
Islander
way.
over here.
I'm not going to eat I'm not going to eat my way at any point on the way. I didn't give myself enough time. I can't do this. Like,
You
I'm
live
also
with
a
the
very
hunger.
clean eater. Like, I prefer to be very clean when I'm eating, so like I can't just deal with the mess of eating on the way because I would psych myself out way too much.
Okay, well, Joey, I think you may come to my side of this argument once you see me eating on the subway, because I am not
okay.
a messy subway eater.
I feel like I should clarify. I will not do it. Go do whatever your heart desires, Raine. I'm not
Thank
gonna
you,
stop
thank you.
I just want you to know, I will be judging you, and I will be saying to myself, "Why are you doing that?"
As
But
someone
I
who takes
will not
the
do it.
subway, I'd much prefer to live in a world where that is not normalized. Please.
Yeah, I'm very okay.
I
with
do
it.
not want to get on the subway and at least one per car see someone hounding a just salad.
That would be awesome. I really don't
No.
care either way because I'm gonna keep doing it, but I think people should start because it's great. Okay, Andy, do you have a this has got to start?
This has got to start. Mine is one that I honestly don't think is very controversial. I think I could be wrong, but I think we're all going to be in the same camp here. I think late seating for movies should be enforced the same way it is for Broadway or theater in general. It should be a strict, if you are late, you're not coming in. I think we should start enforcing it.
What's the line? Where's the, like...
Because movies
it's too
also
late.
don't have an intermission.
Yes.
It's true. You just
And I see that there's problems where it would be, but movies also happen more often than theater. So it would be a situation where instead of, oh, we'll let you in during a song break or, God forbid, an intermission, it would be, hey, the next showing is in an hour. Do you want to do that, or do you want to come back the next day? Where I think in a perfect world, it would be before the opening credits, but most movies don't have that anymore, so that is tough.
The drama,
or it happens in a bunch of different parts during movies. So I would say a solid, there's 15 to 20 minutes of trailers. I say give people another 15, and then that's it.
Okay, here's my thing. I think this can just be solved if movie times would stop saying this is when the movie starts.
But that's true, like an hour before it actually starts.
Yeah, like if you're gonna tell me, oh, we have a movie at 7:50, I'm like, great. So the movie starts at 8. Tell me when the movie starts, so I know the window I have to like miss trailers or whatever.
Yes,
absolutely.
That is true.
That would just, I feel like, solve this issue.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, if someone comes in, I'm like, all right, so I don't like you. Like, I don't have to worry about this anymore. If someone comes in during the movie, I'm like, you had the information, you just chose to do nothing with it. That's not my fault.
Yeah, I do kind of feel. I do understand them, like, they don't want to just, like, give the other time and then nobody watches any trailers, you know?
Yeah, people pay a lot to have their trailers in a movie.
So
and the ad space and all that.
I do kind of understand. But also, like, low-key with my ADHD, I always give myself more time than I need, where I'm like, oh, like there is, or other way around, because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be good for the next, like, 25 to 30 minutes. Like, I can be late, but then, like, you know, I miss, like, the first 20 minutes
30
of the
minutes
movie.
passes and you're like, oh, I still have it left.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I do agree, because when I saw the drama, it was on a Tuesday, so the 50% off days in the AMC. It was packed, and the guy next to me was on his phone the whole time. He was actually FaceTiming with someone, like, as the movie was starting, and luckily his girlfriend was like, stop, the movie's starting, so he stopped, but he was on his phone the whole time. Yes, and towards the end of the movie, a video played, like, from his phone. So yeah, theater etiquette has gone out. Yeah. I was like, that's why I was so riled. I texted you guys, I was like, I am pissed. Yeah. Like, People
I think something needs to be done to bring it back, especially with the ease of just watching a movie at home. I'm a huge supporter of the experience of going to the movies. And same. I think that's the way to experience a movie for the first time. Mm-hmm. And I'm so lucky to live in New York, where I get to see, there are so many movie theaters. Many movie theaters show classics and like not just the new stuff that's out, or foreign films that I never got the chance. And I think it may be elitist of me to say it, but I truly think it should be made more of an experience. Yes. And I think part of it is enforcing an etiquette on an audience.
Yes. There should have been an usher, like, shining their light like they do when people are on their phone in like a Broadway show.
One security guard in the theater at all times, and they're pretty much, their bonus is that they get to watch the movie kind of too.
Yeah.
You know, that is similar to a theater experience, where the usher is making sure no one's recording it, plus they're, you know, in the room where it happens watching the show.
I see what you did there.
Okay, Joey, very quickly, I do have to go.
It's so bad.
Okay.
On the same train of thought as theater, also might not be a very big hot take. I wish audience members would start doing their job. I know, so I want to explain what I mean.
Okay.
And by doing their job, I mean be an audience member. And I'm coming specifically from a tech point of view. If something's wrong, I don't need you to tell me something's wrong. I'm sure there are 25 of us who know something is wrong. And the last thing I need an audience member to do would be like, so, like, you know she has no mic, right? I'm like, oh, no, thank you so much. We'll get right on that. I'm like, I know she has no mic on. Like, what do you think I'm doing? Like, what, truthfully, what in you thinks you have the right to go up to someone working to say, by the way, this is how you do your job?
Unbelievable.
And I'm just like, I would never do that. Like, okay, I'm at a movie theater, right? and like I'm getting like I don't know, a snack, and I'm like, that's not the same way I got the snack last week. I'm not gonna say anything. I don't know why it's different. It's different. Okay.
I got more popcorn last time.
They have a legitimate reason why. I'm sure, like, oh, I guess I just got lucky this one time. There's probably no rhyme or reason to it. Or, like, I don't know. It bugs me so much to, like, have someone come up to me and just be like, why? Like, actively during the show. Not after. Not in duration. During the show. Be like, hey, did you know this? And I'm like, nope, I've actually not been watching. I've been like in the other room. I just came in this one time. I just wish people would start being audience members and not working
100
to see the show.
100%
I do
agree.
It's pretty tough to enforce, but I do agree.
Yes.
No, this is not a thing to enforce. This is just a thing you should know. Like,
you as an audience member should have
PSA.
this.
You should know when you're an audience member going to see something that you're there to see the thing and to like critique it and like have your own thoughts and opinions about it. You're not there to. That sound guy needs help. Let me go do that.
Yes.
Let me help him.
Yes.
Let me go. You stay right there. I'm gonna go do it.
No.
I'm like, no, what?
Yeah.
Even as a someone who does work in tech, when I see something and something's going wrong, I will never point it out. I will never like actively mention it. And if I ever have any comments or like questions about the show, it's after, and it's from a separate, like it's from a fellow creative person's standpoint, like point of view.
Yes.
I'm not going there to tell you how to do your job. I'm not going there to ask you like, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? I'm going there to be like, curious what made you choose these things. And then I'll point out, it's like, yeah, I noticed that, and I'm like, I know you couldn't do anything, and I understand that. Like, I don't be like, oh, did you know this? I'm like, I just feel bad for you when it happens, because that's live theater. That's it's an impossible task is trying to be done.
Yes.
And
yes. All right.
Anyway,
well,
that's my.
Thank you so much for tuning in. As a quick wrap up, Joey says, audience members, shut up. Andy says, show up on time. And I say, please eat on the subway. Thank you.
These are all things that actually matter to a theater, so this works.
Yes.
Eat before, watch the show, shut up.
Yes, thank you to everyone who's watching. Joey, do you have anything you want to plug?
I'm doing a production of the Prom. Some cool people are in it, I guess.
Yay.
Never heard of it. Tell me more.
Come see it, I guess, if you're local.
When is it?
It's like May.
It's like May. Okay, great. Andy.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in this production of the Prom that's going on. It's May 16th and 17th, specifically. It's those 2 dates out in Long Island. I will be performing the role of Trent Oliver and singing Love Thy Neighbor, which is an amazing song. If you can, come see it. If you follow me at all, I will be posting about it as we get closer with like ticket links and all that fun stuff.
Yes.
But that's what I got going on now.
I'm not in it, by the way. Just want to clarify. Not in it. I'm designing the show for lighting. That's it.
Yes, come for great lighting and for Andy's face. You can follow Andy at not the Andy you need.
Indeed. We'll put up spelling because I was a high schooler who made it annoying.
You never changed it. You haven't changed it, by the way. You've had the opportunity to change it.
Me.
I think you
I'm
should
still-
keep it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Raine,
And Raine, yourself?
Got anything you wanna promote?
yeah, I have a show coming up. It's called Billy to His Friends at the Fresh Fruit Festival at the Wild Project. Joey might be able to come. It's on April 20th.
Now I feel like I have to. Touch me if I don't.
Yeah. It's April 28th, April 29th, and May 2nd in the Wild Project, which is in East Village. And you can follow me at Raine Higa for the ticket link.
Hype.
No.
Okay.
I love that, by the way, I'm the only one who didn't give their IG handle.
Do
I'm
you-
very okay with that.
Yeah, do you want people to
Oh.
follow you?
I mean, if you follow them, it's not hard.
Oh, go through my followers and you'll find it.
I'm very aptly named Joey. There's nothing else.
Aptly named Joey. I'm sure that'll be easy to find.
Yeah, it should be pretty easy to find, I think.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.